I was browsing Steam for a new horror game. I searched for about 5 minutes until I stumbled across this. The Park. Having been recommended to me months prior, I decided to purchase it, not knowing what I could have possibly expected. Hi guys, my name is The Tater, and today we're going to dive deep into the psychological world of The Park.
There's something special about the entrance to an amusement park. A line drawn between the real world and the world of whimsy within. It's no wonder Callum ran back inside. Mommy is coming, Callum! My son, Callum. He loves the theme park. Is it possible to love something and fear it at the same time?
The opening to the game is more or less the same as many other horror games. Innocent. But through the seeds of the innocent lie a much deeper tone. Meet Lorraine, the game's protagonist. After what seems like a day at an amusement park with her son, it's revealed that he had lost his teddy bear. Essentially guilt-driven, Lorraine goes to see if there's any information on the bear's whereabouts. After a brief blackout, the man spots your son running into the park. And that is where our story truly begins. I quite enjoy the light entrances of horror games to kind of throw you off the scent of what's actually going on there, but the park is different to me. The eerie tone is always there, just masked behind the entrance of the park. And as you go up the escalators, of course, the mask is taken off. The first section of this review is about the game's storyline. Now, if you're not the explorative type, then you may not catch the underlying meanings of this game's narrative. I found this portion of the game to be excellent, however, not giving so much up in its 1 to 2 hours of gameplay, but instead forcing the player to piece it together themselves. I really appreciate design choices like this, as long as it's done properly, and as far as I can tell, it is done beautifully here, though a few flaws. For the casual gamer, the story is kinda plain. A mother searching for her son in a closed amusement park dealing with the paranormal. But not everything is as it seems. It even says just before the game begins. No. The true story is much more sinister than what's shown. No game is without its flaws, and there are a few here. If you're expecting chase sequences or fights, then you will be disappointed by the end. The game falls under psychological horror, meaning it's more content with making you think and mentally stress than anything else. A gripe I had with the game's storyline is the runtime, falling short of my expectations when I finished it in about an hour and a half. Some parts of the story seemed a little rushed and easily predictable as well. But at the end of the day, I found the story to be well told and satisfying. Gameplay is pretty standard. First-person view with an occasional third-person cutscene, the ability to interact with certain things in your environment, and a sprint feature that's otherwise useless. Pretty simple in the long run. What saves it for me is the amount of interactable set pieces, the Ferris wheel, roller coaster, the spinny spin thing, and a lot more. Gameplay definitely takes a back seat here, and justifiably so. It's more about you taking in the rich atmosphere and immersion. As we all know, one of the main things that makes a horror game unnerving is good sound design. Now I'm pleased to announce that this game delivers big time in that department, as I was chilled to the bone multiple times from the sounds around me. 1 minute pondering on life choices, only to be thrown back to reality with the sound of children singing in an abandoned park. The park was an experience, something I think every horror fan should play, especially the deep thinkers who hunt for every drip of content. At the time of recording, the price is well worth the admission alone. $5 on Steam, and also available on the PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, and the Xbox One. It was a solid horror game, and I'm excited to see what's next for the developers. And that is why I give this game a 7 out of 10. It truly does want what's best, even if it falls a little flat in the end. I believe Funcom will take this game and its highs and lows to look towards the future titles ahead of them. Thank you so much for taking the dive with me, and I hope to see you again in our next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you enjoyed the content. Have a wonderful day.